Hello, thank you for being here at 11:44 messages. And this is the Libra reading, finally. The Libra reading for what the universe wants you to know. I didn't want to rush this, so I just did it when I felt called to do it, and I had the opportunity last night. And I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it. And I'm glad I waited. It's always good when you wait and don't rush it. So, these are your messages, what the universe wants you to know. I'm just trying to, I don't know, just straighten it up a little bit, but it's not very successful. So, forgive it. Forgive it, Libra. All right. These are the messages that I got. Should I? Why do I always struggle with this? All right. I'll just talk and I'll show you yeah, that's how we're going to do this, okay? One thing I do have to say, Libra, is I was so happy to actually get such a good reading because I think the last time that we've met, it could have been better. I'll just say that. So, this reading, the gist of it is taking action, opening up, working with others. Now you can click off. You don't have to even watch it. But I will explain. So, here we go. You are urged to maybe start a new job if you haven't already, or you are urged to quit a job and look for another one. Um, where am I? Oh, ooh, with the Eight of Fire, this is talking about, well, I'll just say the Eight of Fire, the Nine of Cups, I'll do it all together, and the Page of Wands. Okay, quitting a job, starting a new job. And if you do start a new job, this could be the job of your dreams, a job that you've wanted for the longest. It will make you happier. You could also get promoted to a position that you like better. The Eight of Fire that I showed you, it talks about something happening through physical change. You have to take action for this to happen. It's something that you do physically, whether it be putting in the physical work to get the promotion, working harder at work, um, really proving yourself. I hate to say it like that because you really shouldn't have to prove yourself, but you know what I mean. Um, Filling out the applications to get the job that you really want instead of staying stuck in a job that you're unhappy at. For some, this could talk about taking the physical action to improve the inner you, the internal situation that you have going on. So this could be making, doing your research to find a good counselor, um, psychiatrist, something that you can heal yourself internally. And that in turn is like a domino effect for improving your entire life, for improving your health. Your health came up a few times in this reading, Libra. So we'll talk about it. Like I said, I guess it was worth sticking around, huh? All right. So this is talking about you possibly being a dreamer. And I did get that message, that exact phrase for your reading. I got a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. Or what? Let me see. Let me see what I put down for your message. The message I got. The dreamer. I just saw the dreamer. Okay. Um. So this is about taking action, not just thinking about it or dreaming about it, because that does help. Don't get me wrong. It does help to dream. It does help to think about something. That is the first step to manifestation. It's a thought, okay? But you also need to act. So maybe for some, you've possibly been in some type of funk. Maybe you've just been through so much that your body needs to rest. Your brain, your spirit needs to recover. You need to heal. It's important to not stay in that energy though. So it is important to get that necessary rest and recovery, but at the same time, you can't linger in that energy for too long, because once you do that, you will stay stagnant. And once you act, then you'll get what you wish for, which will make you happier. So it's kind of like a cycle, you know? Unhappy, feeling stagnant, act, be happy. You know, it's kind of like you have to do something, otherwise it's just going to continue. Your unhappiness will continue, or your slump is what I'm thinking. The rut that you may be in is just going to continue. With the Nine of Cups, you are, or you will be, on the right track. That's a card of the universe showing you its approval. Okay? The Page of Wands talks about starting a new job that you really enjoy. So already you've gotten that message a couple of times. For some, you may need to, or you will decide that you need to go back to school. That's come up several times in this reading. Someone is definitely going back to school, learning a trade, studying something. You know, it could have something to do with your business. That came up a few times in this reading. Going back to school, that could be the action that you take. Going back to school, preparing for a career, so studying what you can to, you know, maybe gaining skills that you need for your new career, studying what you can to improve your business, make more money. This also talks about, the Page of Wands talks about you being optimistic and enthusiastic. So once you start taking this action, like I said, it will improve. It's like a domino effect. Everything starts to fall into place. I talked about the mental and emotional health. So with putting that action forward, as far as maybe consulting a psychiatrist, like I said, a counselor, maybe that will put you in that optimistic and enthusiastic energy. This also talks about being more childlike, and that's talked about in this shadow card, actually, the Child. And we'll get to that in a second. Again, where are we? Three of Air. This talks about education once again. And you're going to hear me say once again a lot in this reading. So I'm just warning you. That's my disclaimer. It might get annoying. But you have a lot of repeat messages, but it also comes with different things. So that's why I have to include it. Some of it I've just condensed so it's not redundant. Well, not as redundant. Three of Air talks about gaining education. Learning to reach your learning so that you can reach your highest potential. And it's not just in school. It's talking about life. Because we will not stop, or we should not ever stop learning. Even if it's learning from the hurt that others have caused us, learning from mistakes. It's all about learning. It's all about having new experiences so that you can evolve, which elevates you, okay? It levels you up. Always look for a lesson in everything. Always. Everything, even things that seem like impossible, like, is this just bad luck? It could be karma. We do have to deal with our karma, but at the same time, we do have to have experiences and open ourselves up to having experiences so that we can learn from those experiences, learn from our mistakes so that they don't keep repeating. And if you believe in, past lives, if you believe in things that your ancestors, breaking generational, I don't want to say curses, but breaking things from generations and your ancestors, if you believe in that, you know, then you will repeat lessons so that maybe you could be the one. Maybe you have signed up to be the one to break the um, break the chains. I'll say that. I don't want to say the word curses, but you know what I mean. Um, if you can't find a lesson, or you struggle to find the lesson in something, then understand that we also have to deal with contrast. It can't always be positive. You have to have contrast, for one, so that you can appreciate the positive more, but also so that you can what? Grow and evolve. So it's necessary. It's all necessary. Balance, that's what life is about. Balance. Um, you are encouraged, like I said, to seek out experiences. Don't close your heart off because you've been hurt. Don't close your energy off because you've been hurt. That was there to help you. That happened to help you. All right. Um, don't be fool like. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. Be fool like, be like the fool, but only like as far as tapping into your inner child energy. Children just go. They're not worried about, you know, just like the fool. Is there ground underneath me while I'm running? Who knows? I'm sure there is. I trust that there is. You know what I'm saying? Look, he looks like he's about to walk off the cliff. Is he worried? No. So be full, like when it comes to tapping into your inner child, having new experiences, being open to having new experiences. Um, be full, like to where you want to learn everything. But don't be full, like to the point where you are intentionally naive. I don't want to use the I word, I don't want to say ignorant, but you get what I'm saying. Okay? Don't just have your head in the clouds intentionally. I hope I said that right. Um, you may get a new opportunity to work with a group, and that will benefit you financially. Maybe, hmm, maybe you're like a loner, or maybe you're just used to doing everything yourself, but you are urged, like I said, to consider a new path, to consider a new direction, and work with this group because it will behoove you to do so. You could possibly combine your money with others, maybe get a loan for some. You could learn from other people here. You could just decide to have a partnership with just one person, even. Once again, this talks about learning, maybe cooperating with others to learn maybe about money management for some, learning things about the business that you are interested in, or learning things about the new position, the new job, the new career. This talks about studying. For some, you may get a new experience. One of your experiences that you may have is about traveling. You may travel somewhere for some. If it's love, Libra, then you are urged to study and observe your partner if it's a new partner. Trust yourself, trust your intuition. It could feel with that Fool energy, it could feel as if this is a soulmate. But still, no matter how beautiful it is, make sure that you watch them. And don't ignore red flags. You could also move to the next step if it's an existing relationship where you are learning more about each other. You're expressing more. You're opening up more. You're listening to each other to understand. You're not just listening to respond, you're listening to understand each other. You are urged, whatever you're doing, if it's love, business, examine the details, read the fine print. You have the Two of Air. Can you see this? I hope you can see it. The Two of Air, and it's clarified by the Judgment reversed. This talks about making sure that you embrace an open mind, having an open mind. Be a flexible thinker. Realizing that, you see on this card, you see black and white, but there's also a gray area that you need to be open to. Everything is not just black and white. Sometimes you can both be right if it's a partnership, it's some type of connection with someone else. It's realizing that you can both be right. It's not just always one person. For some, closed-mindedness could have affected your relationship negatively. It could have even harmed the other person. It could have even harmed you. You could be too hard on yourself in a relationship, or just hard on yourself in general, or hard on others, or both. You could, if it's a partnership, you could be mirroring each other. And both of you could be refusing to look in the mirror. I got the word mirror. There needs to be a willingness to change. That's the only that's the only way that anything will happen here. You're urged to make peace here by listening to others and listening to yourself, having patience and understanding with yourself and others, because you need to understand, if you don't already, we are all different. So embrace that. You have the King of Fire. Maybe it's better there. You have the King of Fire. And this card sort of touches on the other messages that I've already talked about. It talks about respecting other people's viewpoints, grounding yourself when it comes to your ideas, focusing on your passions, taking action, not staying in the ideas stage, actually taking the action and being dedicated to whatever you decide to take action on. For some, you may need to check your temper. Maybe you have a temper with this King of Fire. Hey, there's no judgment, okay? You're urged to finish projects. See them all the way through. For some, if you do decide to work with others, I got play well with others. So make sure, and that could have something to do with that temper message. I'm not sure. But it's also talking about, with this card, being a leader. So if you do decide to work with others, you may be placed in a leadership position. Maybe you have hired people to work work with you when it comes to your business, or maybe it's a teamwork situation with your new job, your new career. You could be placed in the leadership position. That came out a few times in this reading as well. And you can do that. You have what it takes to be a leader. And not just a leader, because anyone, well, not everyone, a lot of people can be a leader, but it's, you have the potential to be a good leader to where people actually want you to lead them. Remember that, if you do decide to take on this leadership position, that you are still being part of a team. Even though you're a leader, you're still part of a team. Yeah, but you could receive a message about this opportunity. Um, I mentioned trying not to do everything on your own, I believe. I think I mentioned that. Or maybe feeling as if you need to do everything on your own. I mean, people will enjoy you as a leader. They don't mind taking, I don't want to say taking orders, but they don't mind you giving them responsibilities. They will do it gladly as long as you follow this advice here. Um, Again, you will have a new idea or new ideas, plural, and it will be profitable. It could have come from tapping into your spiritual energy as well. You could have had a dream about something that you need to be doing. You could be receiving divine guidance about an idea or ideas that you should be taking action towards. Maybe synchronizations, is that a word? Maybe you could be seeing a lot of random messages, just like, wow, this just came into my head. I just had this message about or an idea about a business, and then I saw that same message on a billboard. Like, you can have a message about an idea about something, and then you're thinking, should I do it? And then you see a billboard that says, do it. Take this opportunity. And you're like, what? How did you just answer my question? That was the question that I had in my head, and now I'm seeing it on a billboard. The answer on a billboard? What is that? You could be seeing a lot of repeating numbers. Okay, like I said, you could be having dreams. I mean, this whole spread right here talks about seeing a goal, devoting yourself to it. So I guess instead of urging you to be focused and see it through, this is saying that you will be focused and seeing it through. You got the Temperance as well. You could be receiving information about a loan or discussing money, negotiating a contract even, starting a new job once again. Maybe this could be a spiritual business, and you get to freely express yourself when it comes to your spirituality. Freely discuss your views on spirituality, or just your views in general. You get to communicate. You get to express your your intellectual side. You could be using your intellect here. And this spiritual views, that could actually be connected to what you're studying. You could be studying spirituality for a spiritual business. You could be daydreaming a lot. Your imagination could be overactive at this time, which is it's not bad. That's good. You could be feeling very inspired at this time. And I just saw oh no, that was 2434. I thought I saw 2424. I'm like, Libra, go look it up. I mean, still 2434 isn't bad, but anyway, You could be feeling very inspired, lots of ideas planted. I got the word planted in your mind. So, like I said, the divine could be planting, or, spirit guides could be planting stuff in your mind at this time. But this also talks about making sure that you do your shadow work. And we talked about that a little bit. Being able to go within, okay? Do your shadow work because it's necessary. So now we're going to move on. Put these back. Do I want to put those back? Yes. Yeah, we're going to move on. I put judgment reverse. So that judgment reverse talks about needing to do your shadow work as well. Okay, that's where that came from. Or you could be doing your shadow work already. I didn't even think about that because I don't know if this is past, present, or future. Some of you could be in this stage where you are realizing that you needed to do your shadow work and you're doing it. And that's causing changes to occur in your life. You could be realizing that you have talents with that high priestess, discovering your passions. This team that you could be working with could help bring that out of you too. And if it's a relationship, you could be mentally stimulating each other. It could be romantic. It could feel spiritual. But it may not be realistic with that high priestess as well. I forgot to talk about that. You could both be too idealistic and not grounded in reality as far as the relationship. But with the Ten of Cups, it could feel like complete fulfillment and joy when you're with them. But just remember to use your intuition because something could be revealed to you. Maybe the fact that with the Temperance card, you may want to rush things, but you may need to not rush things and get to know each other better. Let things happen at its own pace. Maybe it's time instead to focus on being or getting financially stable and focusing on your goals more than the relationship. For some, you could be overspending. You could have your head in the clouds when it comes to a financial matter or your finances in general. And maybe you do need to meet with, have a consultation with an expert that deals with money. That could be that loan thing that I saw earlier, the loan thing, the contract thing. You could meet with like a debt consolidation person. I'm not sure. Who knows? But this once again talks about you delegating responsibilities to coworkers or teammates. And then it's peaceful for everyone because they look at you, like I said, they don't mind taking orders from you. They don't mind the responsibilities that you put on them because they will or they do look at you as being a fair person. Everyone is pulling their weight. But you will have financial security. You will be recognized. You will be respected. You will have everything that you want. Doing this business, project, new career, doing your shadow work will all together, it will all have you feeling totally fulfilled and content. And once again, being open-minded, making sure that you question people so that you can learn from them. Be discerning. Don't just let anyone enter into your life and share your energy because that is an experience as well. Yes, it's good to be open, but at the same time be discerning with who you let in because that will affect you in the future as far as what type of experience you have. And also, don't just accept everything that's told to you. For some, your mind could be affecting your body. And you know, as far as needing to heal, maybe you have a lot of emotional trauma, or you know, it's just something. Your mind is very powerful, and it really can affect your body. We only have control over ourselves and how we think and how we act. So remembering that will help greatly. Um, you need to balance your imagination. That's come out a few times so far. Be realistic about what you imagine basically. So use your imagination, be childlike, but at the same time ground it to a certain extent and be realistic. And that came out again as far as your expectations, because if you set your expectations too high, then you could come crashing down if it doesn't work out exactly how you want. I'm surprised the 7 of Cups isn't out here actually. um so also remember that opinions are not facts. So whatever you're telling yourself or whatever people are telling you that is an opinion, you don't have to focus too much on that because it's just an opinion, it's not a fact. And I do have to mention that you got another card. So far you have 2 cards about making sure that your diet doesn't affect your body, because your diet might be affecting your body. So I don't like to tell anyone about their diet because, look, I'm not the healthiest at all. At all. Um, but if it's come out in the cards, then, like I said, these are the messages that the universe wants you to know. And if for it to come out twice so far, it could be an issue. So if that is an issue for you, then you know what to do, and we will leave it there. Be able to see things and accept other people's perspectives. You got the Hanged Man here, seeing things from a different perspective. Okay. Um, you got cards about studying. I mean, you have the King of Swords. You have cards about studying, spiritual knowledge, communication, once again, possibly your leadership role. There could be a decision that that you have to make, like a judgment or some type of legal matter that someone needs to deal with. Just remember that clarity and focus are important at this time. And again, if it's love, someone needs to open up. I think that's a message that's come out already. Someone needs to open up and express themselves. That's not really happening here, possibly due to fear of being too vulnerable. You do have another card here about a mental connection with someone. Not many emotions are expressed, like I said. There could be deeply rooted issues that someone is dealing with. It could be you, Libra. You could be unhealed, and that stops you from being open to expressing yourself in that way emotionally. For some, you could feel stuck between your past self and your future self. I mean, it makes sense literally because we are in the present, but the word stuck, you could feel just like, I mean, because this person is suspended, you could feel like, you know, maybe you go back and forth with it. Oh, well, this is what happened to me in the past, or this is how I used to be in the past. This is how I want to be in the future. You could wrestle with that. Maybe you're not letting the past go. Maybe you're not letting people go. But you could become more spiritual now. You did have as a shadow card, well, kind of a shadow card, this fell out. A tower moment. A tower moment. You could have had a tower moment already. And that could have changed, flipped your world upside down, could have changed your perspective entirely when it comes to as far as money and possessions, and not worrying too much about money and possessions, focusing more on spiritual things, you know? That tower moment helped you with that. Could have had, financial loss. And this also talks about your job situation changing, but we already talked about that. If it's love, you could leave a relationship as well with this hangman, because you're possibly evolving and becoming more spiritual and they're not. For some, maybe a select few, your ego is not your amigo here when it comes to love. Um, you could need to rest with this Four of Swords reversed, but you're not making the time to rest. Maybe you are keeping yourself busy so that you're not in your thoughts, worried about things, thinking about things. You could make yourself sick once again. So this is the third card talking about your health possibly being affected by stress, possibly. You have to be able to heal your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. So maybe some of you are physically resting. Like maybe you feel as if you're in a rut because you're not doing your shadow work. You are resting. I mean, for some you are resting, for some maybe you're not resting. And there could be people, Libras, that are resting but not doing the inner work. They're just resting, being stagnant. But you need to do both. You need to rest your body, your mind, your soul, but you also need to make sure that you're doing your shadow work so that you can progress to the next level. Okay? You could be kicking yourself over a money loss or a current money matter. Working a lot to recover financially from that. Maybe that's why you're working a lot, not resting enough. Knowing that you need to leave a stressful job, but you won't make the changes to do so. Okay, one moment, I have to pause this. Okay, I'm back. So I don't really know where I left off. Probably here, so I'll start here. You could know that you need to leave a stressful job, but you don't make the changes that are necessary to do so. Like I mentioned, possibly applying for new jobs or just quitting if you can. In love, maybe you're not taking the proper steps to heal from a relationship, work on yourself. You could have given up on relationships or a particular relationship, and maybe you've turned down relationships, and you could have regrets about any of the things that I just said. You are urged once again to ground your desires. Yeah. We're done with these messages though, by the way. Oh, I didn't even show you. I don't think. You had the body mind card. That's the 11 of air. And then you also had the hanged man, the king of swords, and the 4 of swords reversed. I hope I remember to show you that. But if not, that's what you had, and that's what those messages were about. So the next message is desire. Oh, plus maybe you want to look at that longer. desire clarified by the Queen of Swords reversed. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying this part. Grounding your desires and making sure, once again, that's another, I mean, it's a repeat message regardless, but making sure that your ideas and your desires are grounded in reality. This also talks about not expecting too much, like I said, taking actions towards what you want, like I said, discovering your passions if you haven't already, not just fantasizing, like I said. With motivation and action, you can have the control over this. Now, when you don't take the proper steps, you don't put any action towards what you are possibly being urged to, receiving messages about, if you ignore that, then you have moments like this where it's done for you. So would you rather have the control now? Or would you rather it be done for you? For some, that's what's necessary to happen. It needs to be done for you. Because this is the divine pushing you into it. Okay? If you don't take action, like I said, it could be a bumpier path. I'll just say that. You'll still get there, but it might be bumpier. You could have felt, or you could feel trapped, like not wanting or feeling safe to express yourself with this Queen of Swords reversed. Just not wanting to be vulnerable because you're tired of disappointments. You're tired of unreliable, shady people. Feeling like you haven't had a real chance in life to show everyone, including yourself, who you really are. You could feel in that type of energy, just trapped, like, or bad luck, like you've been dealt the wrong cards. Not being able to show people who you have the potential to be. Disappointment after disappointment. Maybe, that makes it hard for you to move past your losses, the financial losses, the relationship that you've been in. Emotions could be affecting your judgment at this time. It could be affecting your judgment when it comes to how you spend your money. Maybe you didn't know all of the details in the money matter, and that's what got you to that loss. Maybe someone gave you bad financial advice, intentionally or unintentionally, I'm not sure. Or you could feel as if you're not, like I said, you're not able to do what you really want to do when it comes to a job. Closing off your heart because of unreliable people, because of broken promises, possibly from people, disappointments. You want your wishes to come true. So in order for that to happen, you have to make the first step and the universe will do the rest. That's another message from the universe in this reading. By taking charge of yourself and your life, taking responsibility for actions. So not just playing the blame game, okay? If you know that you messed up in a situation, then own that. Because that is doing your shadow work. If you've never heard of that, that's what that's about. Doing your shadow work, going within before you point the finger at others. Point the other fingers that are pointing back at you. Focus on those. Okay? You have to be able to be in harmony, not just on the outside, but the inside as well, in order for you to get what you really want. And then wherever that 9 of Cups was, right here. You need to do internal work and external work. And you also need to make sure, like I said, you're committed and focused to whatever you have in front of you as far as your business, your creative endeavors, whatever it is. Don't just give up. Um, by acting, by putting the action out there, you will have your new beginning in life. That's what these cards are talking about. Balancing yourself on the inside, doing the shadow work, doing what's necessary for you to get your new beginning at life. New beginning when it comes to things that you love. Even a relationship. Okay? A new love that's fulfilling, that's actually fulfilling, a new job, a new business, your dreams coming true. You are urged once again to not rush anything. Celebrate the small wins. Learning, understanding, gaining knowledge and skills regarding your passion, your dream career, your business. That's it. That's this right here. It talks about knowledge, gaining skills, learning. A lot of repeat messages, like I said. This card, Queen of Wands, talks about doing what you love and the money will follow. Not worrying about that. Just focus on your passions and then taking action towards those passions. Receiving money through your passion. And again, a business partnership or a team. Combining resources. Putting your talents together to make something really happen. Look, Libra, if you haven't decided to put out a business, or you haven't discovered your passion, or you're not working towards some type of creative venture, you are heavily encouraged to do so with this reading. All right, so now we're going to go, we already went through your Tower card for your shadow card. Don't take action. The action will happen on its own. The Nine of Wands. You will have your stability. You will be able to recover. Don't give up. You will have success. And for some, if it's about a relationship, you will resolve difficulties with your partner. Knight of Pentacles. Changing jobs. Receiving a message about money or your investments that you put out, or your investments, receiving a message, information about that. Celebrating once again your small, slow gains, your small profits. Don't focus on your losses that you've already incurred. Seven of Pentacles. Be patient once again and don't give up, because you could start to see results. If you haven't done this already, then once you do, you will start to see the results. This also talks about letting go of what doesn't serve you and keeping what does. That could be things, people, possessions, whatever. And look at this. Underneath that, the Nine of Pentacles. Abundance, recognition, success once again, respect once again. Recognition is another repeat message. Security, financial security, independence. That's another message that came out a few times here. And for some, you did have two messages about selling and or acquiring property. So keep that in mind as well. And the inner child. So this is kind of like the Fool energy. This talks about new beginnings. This talks about having like a childlike energy. Loving, trusting, hoping. This also could talk about forgiveness. So maybe you have to forgive others or forgive yourself. Well, you don't have to do anything, but it's possibly advised. having self-awareness. And that is also with that judgment card that you had, being self-aware, accepting responsibilities for your actions, seeing your potential. This also talks about healing emotional and psychological wounds. This talks about loosening up, being a little more flexible, acknowledging your small success, acknowledging success in general, but definitely the small success, things that, okay, maybe you don't think are too important. Acknowledge all of your success. Live in the moment. Turn your dreams into reality. Forgive the past. I can't make it up. Your whole message talks about all of this, okay? So, that's another shadow card. And then I saw this one, so I can't unsee it. This talks about flexibility once again, being able to adapt, balance, harmony, letting go of procrastination, balancing work and play, balancing responsibilities and your personal needs. Don't neglect your body. Don't neglect your emotions, your mind. This talks about compromising, being grounded, having realistic goals and expectations, asking for help. And we talked about that as well. Working with that team possibly so that they can assist you and you're not doing everything on your own. Oh, what is this card? Oh my gosh. Let's talk about it. I know this is a long reading. Oh my gosh. Look at all of these. These are major arcana type cards. Look, you know what? I really did not want this to be a long reading, but I mean, I can't unsee this stuff. So let me look this up and see what these are about. So you have the thought card. Let's see if I can just get quick messages about it. This talks about thought, reality, recognizing your power, putting the right focus towards what you're supposed to focus on. Thought creates reality. We talked about manifestation. Don't rush your thinking. Think about things, but also act. Energy flows where attention goes. Be realistic. Okay. Good and bad go hand in hand. We talked about that. The contrast. Change your mind, change your life. Okay. So we'll move on because I'm trying to hurry this up. It's already almost an hour. Oh my gosh. I know you said you don't mind longer readings, but I'm not trying to wear out my welcome. I'm sure people would have already clicked off by now. Hopefully you watched the whole message though. Faith. Let's see. Let me look that up. Let's see what faith is about. I mean, it sounds self-explanatory, but let's just see if there's any additional messages. Faith, having self-belief, confidence, divine connection, trust, once again, the Fool card, as well as some other cards talked about trust. Let me see. Believing in yourself helps you to overcome. Cruel words can do lasting harm. And it's not just cruel words towards others. It's cruel words that you may tell yourself can do lasting harm. Do not give up because of past mistakes. Set yourself believable goals. I can't make it up. You matter. You are enough. You are not alone. Don't be unkind to others because they've been unkind to you. Okay? And for some, you may need to start being able to accept compliments. Maybe you've been having issues with that. All right, let's move on to the next message. It's perception. This is sounding like the hangman, but let's just see. Let's just see. I don't want to assume. Perception. Perception. Understanding. Opinion of self. Remember, opinions are not facts. Gaining clarity. We talked about that as well. Being objective. Understand what your senses tell you. Knowledge and understanding may be limited. Changed perception cannot be unchanged. Is your perception clouded? Take the high ground. Seek a new perspective. Yeah, this is definitely giving that hanged man energy wherever it was. Who influences your perception? Do you have all the facts? So that's the gist of that. All right, let's see what self is about. Libra, I really hope this is helping you. All right. Or maybe you're already doing all this. Good for you. Self. I am. Those two words are so powerful. Maybe you need to focus on saying affirmations. Affirmations are so helpful. Say, I listen to affirmations while I'm drifting off to sleep so that they can sit in my subconscious. So, subconscious. So you can listen to them before you go to sleep. You can listen to them when you wake up and you're still groggy. You can listen to them if you want to, do like a meditation possibly. Say them throughout the day. They really do help. But anyway, I am. Be able to be self-aware, self-realization, self-manifestation. This talks about peace and acceptance. You have unlimited potential, Libra. How has your past shaped you? Talks a lot about your past here, so it could be significant. Are you trying to fit in with the wrong crowd? Know who you are. Be that leader it doesn't say this part, be that leader. But I'm telling you because it just came into my mind. You're meant to be a leader here. Who do you wish to become? Let go of herd mentality. Think for yourself. Be free of definitions and labels. Don't worry about what other people's opinions are. Okay, Libra, I've kept you long enough. All right. Hopefully, like I said, you were able to get some type of messages from this reading. Hopefully it's helped you if you're not already here. If you like the vibe, please subscribe. If you actually genuinely like this video, then please like this video. You can also leave me a comment. Oh my gosh, I just love interacting with you and just hearing, what you have to say, the feedback. I've been getting so much feedback lately and so many comments, and I am just truly grateful for that. You don't even understand. It makes my day. Honestly, it does. I love responding to you. I love hearing from you. So I will let you go now, Libra. I'm so glad this was a very positive message for you. Finally. Okay. I'll see you later.